Hey guys, Aggie here with Baseball Prodigy. Wanted to talk with you a little bit. Some of these emails people are getting and some of the research we're doing. A lot of people are on these big email lists from different platforms, whether it's Perfect Game or D1, rankings or whatever the case may be, right? And so I came across one the other day that I definitely wanted to touch on with you. This is something we do within College Recruiting Secrets for Baseball Prodigy, but check this out. It's really interesting. As you see this here, I'm screen share. So we've got the college recruit rankings for the class of 2020. And so everybody gets caught up in these and going, oh my gosh, these guys are blown out of the water. Vandy, Miami, Louisiana State, South Carolina, on and on and on, right? There's even a button here, how rankings are created. You can see that. They want you to sign in or create an account, which is neither good or bad. I just want to give you some insight as an up-and-coming potential high school player or a high school baseball recruit and understand how these things work, okay? So you can see here, I'll just use Vandy, obviously great history in the game. They've got 17 high school commits for the class of 2020. And then you've got Perfect Game is the ones who's ranking these tops 100, give them the points, and then the average player score, which, everybody gets caught up in these average player scores when they go to Perfect Game events and those sort of things. But I wanted to help you understand something. So as a former Major League scout, I've scouted Texas Tech and TCU, right? And you see some of these average player scores. They've got 20 high school commits, 16 at TCU, and you see these average player scores 4.75 and 5.81. So at first blush, you go, man, those are kind of low scores, man. They didn't do a good job recruiting or whatever it is. It's not the case at all. Anybody that knows these two programs, they've been in the College World Series a ton the last half decade or 6 or 7 years. So they do an outstanding job there of recruiting. But you also need to look at this and help you understand. Again, this is just high school commits. So they've got 20 and 16. With Tech, for instance, right, that does not include junior college transfers, right, or guys that they pick up from the junior college ranks that you're now competing against. Same thing with TCU, same thing with all these schools, but I'm just using them because I know them well. Does that mean that, oh my gosh, there's going to be 40 guys that I'm competing against? No, not necessarily. But it also doesn't talk about, how many guys they have recruited in 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, so on down the list. That's important for you to understand as an up-and-coming baseball player who's potentially considering one of these schools, because you could go in and be committed at a school verbally, okay? And this is one of the things that you need to understand. A verbal commitment doesn't really mean a whole lot, okay? So until you sign that national letter of intent and remembering that these are only 1-year scholarships, okay, you need to know what you're up against. And so schools are going to do their best to put their best product on the field. It's hyper competitive. That's the whole point. Winning matters, right? Their careers and their jobs are on the line at a lot of these schools. So you need to understand that they're going to put their best foot forward. So if you're recruited by them as a 2023, 2024 guy and you make that verbal commitment, all along the way, they're going to recruit on top of you, meaning if they find a better product out there that plays your position, they're going to bring that guy in too. It doesn't mean you're not going to end up on campus, but COVID was a real eye-opener for a lot of players, right? They were committed to a certain school at a certain level, and all of a sudden COVID happened and all this extra year of eligibility occurred for players that were already at the schools. The retraction of the Major League Draft affected a lot of things because you had players who were normally going to go get drafted and be in the professional ranks that now are staying at schools and trying to get their finish their degree or whatever the case is. So you have this retraction of 35 rounds of the Major League Draft, right? So you're looking at roughly 1,650, 1,700 players that didn't go into professional baseball that are staying at universities and colleges across the country, and a lot of it at D1. So that is your competition if you're an up-and-coming high school baseball player. So moms and dads, you need to be aware of these rankings and things like this. So you just need to make sure that, you find out how the rankings are created, sign up for these lists. There's nothing wrong with what these schools are doing. You just need to know the environment that you're getting into and understand how to read through these numbers. So this 17 high school commits doesn't say anything about junior colleges or the portal transfer for guys. Next year, the Major League Draft, from what I'm hearing, is going to go down another 20 rounds. So that means in 2 years, 55 rounds have been depleted from the Major League Draft, which means all those guys are going to be either A, staying at the college that they're at, and you're now competing against them as an incoming freshman against a draft eligible sophomore or junior or senior, whatever the case is. B, they're going to get asked to leave, right? Which could happen if you're a current college player. And so you need to be aware of these things. Or C, they might ask you not to come to their school anymore. Okay. Doesn't make them bad, doesn't make them mean, doesn't make them anything. It is competition. Okay. It's that simple. And so you can't fault the schools for doing what they're doing. You just need to be prepared for what you're getting into and understanding the landscape. If you're going to climb Mount Everest, you need to know what to do, right? Before you go climb, you need to be prepared. And so it's really an elite group, but you can go scroll through these like I am and look and see, well, wait a second, Texas A&M has 0 top 100 rankings by perfect game. Who cares? Texas A&M is going to be awesome. Baylor, they're going to be awesome. Okay. UT, they're going to be awesome, right? These are some of the best programs in the country. So they don't get caught up in these rankings. They're not sitting around going, hey, did we get, a certain number by perfect game into our recruiting? Because if we didn't, man, we need to go out and find more of those guys. It doesn't matter to college coaches. College coaches are subjective by nature. So what they like, perfect game might not like, or what they don't like, a major league scout might like. Okay. So it's very subjective. And these are the type of things that we're going to cover in college recruiting secrets with Baseball Prodigies. So hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to continuing to help you guys along your path.